What's going on? It's your boy Bowie here. This is a very interesting video because I'm not at home. I'm in my office recording this video about Sub-Zero. And this Sub-Zero video is about how he needs the Scorpion treatment. Sub-Zero needs to be buffed in the same manner that Scorpion was buffed. He needs to be brought up to Scorpion's level. I mean, not just, you know, as a man or as a character in the story, but as a character overall. Because Sub-Zero has a bunch of cool tools. This is a good tool. This is a good tool. This is a good tool. This can be good. It's good in certain situations. This is a good tool as well. But this got buffed, which is kind of good. You know, it's better than what it was, particularly given the fact that, you know, you can link it mid-screen, though it's hard to do. Well, let me not even say that you can link it mid-screen. You can link it in the corner, really. Mid-screen, it's almost useless. But this right here, terrible. Terrible. Ice Ball is way too slow to be useful. And it's a miracle if you even hit somebody with that move. It's too slow. So let me talk about why Scorpion has now become such a good character. So Scorpion started off very much where Sub-Zero is. He has solid stuff. He has great movement, good pokes. He has good normals like Stand 2. Stand 2 is a great normal. 4-3 is pretty straight as well, to be honest with you. Back 2 is good. His Stand 1's good. As an anti-air, this shit is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So Scorpion has good normals. He also has good strings. 2-1's a great string. 1-2's a good string. Even these kicks, they're okay. They're pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? I wish they were plus on block, but hey, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This was useful, though very niche, and would often get you blown up before, you know. But his strings and normals were decent, you know what I'm saying? And then, but here's the thing with Scorpion. He has good special moves. So this is great for side switching. It's also a pretty decent armor move because it's fast as shit. This move you can use to check people with, though it's terribly unsafe on block or on whiff. You know what I'm saying? And it'll get you killed from virtually anywhere on the screen. But you can use this with certain cameos like Sector and Motaro and stuff like that. So it's dope. Everybody knows how good this move is, particularly when you pair Scorpion with a cameo that allows him to make this safe. Plus it just does a lot of damage. You know what I'm saying? Obviously Scorpion always has his teleport straight. The regular one is meh. The EX one used to be just as meh, but you could use it to get some cancels going in the air and stuff like that. You know, people would do the double teleport with Scorpion. It was great. But what happened with Scorpion was he got given a series of buffs, or I should say he received a series of buffs that really put him over the top. You know, the first buff was a new string. Oh, I forgot to mention, this spear is godlike. Look at how fast it is. It's 17 frames, which up close is slow, but from here it may as well be instant. And because it's so fast, it works after virtually everything. Any string he has can be canceled in the spear. any normal, it doesn't matter. Anything he wants, he can cancel in the spear. And because he can cancel in the spear, he gets safe hit confirmable damage. Whoops, I'm dropping the combo. That's 34 off of a safe ass, long range ass normal. And if he wants to spend meter, he has several ways to spend meter with this. Oh my god. That's 377. That's if he wants to spend safety and hit confirm in a spear. He can always just do this launcher, which starts with a 12 frame normal. He's doing 38 meterless by himself. And he didn't use a cameo for any of this. You know what I'm saying? So, because Scorpion not only has a really good spear, but he also has high damage and decent normals and strings, and virtually no scaling to speak of, the character was in a good position to be good before the buffs. Then he got buffs, so he got a new string. And this string is super dope. It's mid-mid, and at first it had a gap, but it got changed so that it's now gapless. It's plus 47 on hit. So you can literally hit somebody with this mid-screen and advance on them. Or you can just be in their face. You have enough time to whiff this shit. Let me see. Yeah, you have enough time to whiff that. And, you know, still probably block whatever they're going to do. But this move is so plus that if you just end a combo with that, you can guarantee into EX Hellfire, which tacks on 6% damage onto any combo that you end that with. Or you can special cancel into that for the side switch. You know? Or you can just do it and just be mad plus and either decide to stay at bay or advance. Or you can cancel into cameos. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so having a string that's that plus and is that versatile has so many advantages. Not to mention, stance hold. It's safe. It's -6. And this is now way more staggerable than it used to be. So the opponent is always having to watch for you possibly launching them or hitting them with this. And you're not going to want to keep taking these. So then you can start staggering and all this. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to do Johnny Cage pressure, no shit like that. But what I'm saying is Scorpion now has, you know, strings that are just objectively good. That you want to use because they're just that good. They're versatile. There's no real weakness to using this string. And even with particular cameos, Scorpion gets combos from this, so it's a launcher too. And in the corner, off of juggles, you can cancel this in a spear. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need for Sub-Zero. You see how I can just list all the good things about Scorpion? Sub-Zero needs that too, because even, you know, as I go back to Scorpion real quick, I didn't even talk about the other buff that he got. The real big, well, two big buffs. One big buff was a boost to this. So, let me see. Okay, yeah. So, Scorpion can EX Telly after strings. I actually didn't know he could do that. You know what I'm saying? So this teleport is so damn fast that he can just, you know, as soon as you think about, oh, I'm gonna throw a projectile, psych, combo. And then in conjunction with his other mod, he can get a safe combo starter from this far away. Because this is the buff that took Scorpion over the edge, in my estimation. Having a special cancelable back 3. Now, I understand it's not a low anymore, so it's not a 50-50, but here's the thing. Being able to combo from all the way out here without a cameo, and then with cameo you can do stuff like this, is actually amazing. Not just for Scorpion, but for any character. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just did 41%, basically 42%, without spending any meter. And I got it from a normal that I did out here. I'm standing all the way out here, well beyond the neutral zone. So you're not safe against Scorpion anywhere on screen. Particularly if he has a cameo that lets him combo off of back 3. You know what I'm saying? And Scorpion Serena's not even a meta build, honestly. The meta builds for Scorpion are either Janet, Pharah, or Jax, right? But Scorpion has a rotation of really strong cameos that work well for him in different ways because of the buffs that he got. You see what I'm saying? That's what Sub-Zero needs. Sub-Zero needs more buffs. He needs to be buffed in such a way to where he's a strong character that works equally well with several cameos at once, because at this present moment, Sub-Zero, though decent and good enough to win tournaments with, and certainly more than good enough to beat people online with, Sub-Zero didn't get as good as some other characters did. Scorpion got buffed more than Sub-Zero did in this last patch, basically. Natara definitely got buffed more than Sub-Zero did. Li Mei got buffed more than Sub-Zero did. Now, let me not be any kind of, you know, disrespectful or any kind of ungrateful. The buffs that Sub-Zero got are godlike. Like, this being a thing is awesome. He needed that. You know what I'm saying? This being a thing is awesome. He needed that. Sub-Zero really needed those things. This being a thing is awesome. Sub-Zero really needed that. So best believe I'm never going to sit here and be the one to wag the finger at NRS and be upset after getting Sub-Zero buffs. I'm happy for Sub, and I'm happy to receive them. But these buffs are not enough, unfortunately. Because Sub-Zero's core problem is that he is a character full of gimmicks. He has gimmicks. Throwing this ice clone out in the neutral is a gimmick. Because a character like Scorpion can blow him up on principle, on reaction, every single time, if the player uses him correctly. But 99% of players, they're just so happy that they didn't get frozen by the thing that they forget to punish it. But it doesn't mean that this is safe, because it's not. Because notice, he's negative 43 when he does that clone. Minus 43. That means that a character like Scorpion has enough time to see the clone and decide, do I want to use back 3 or do I want to use EX down back 3 to punish it? And they can punish. So using this in general is a gimmick. And the better players punish Sub-Zero for using that thing, for using his own move. I can't even call the Ice Ball a gimmick because it just doesn't even work. There are some niche situations where you can use Ice Ball, but even then you're probably going to take damage while trying to use it. And then if in the event that you actually do hit somebody, it's a miracle if you can reach them in time. See, he can block that. Let me put him on auto block real quick, just so that you know I'm not playing. So I'm gonna do auto block. See that? That's death. You know what I'm saying? Now you can do something like that, but Sub-Zero is so handicapped in a way that Scorpion is not. Because even though Sub-Zero did receive a bunch of important buffs, several key areas of Sub-Zero are still highly underdeveloped. For instance, this is not a thing. Sub-Zero has no safe way to combo characters without spending resource. He either has to spend resource on a cameo, or he has to spend meter. He has to. He doesn't have a choice. And because of that, that limits what cameos he can use. I was so happy to possibly use Sub-Zero as a cameo, but I can't. Because notice, after one of Sub-Zero's very best footsie strings, I can't even use Sub-Zero cameo with it. As a matter of fact, I can't Ice Ball into it either. I can do this, but in terms of reaching somebody afterwards, nope. That's not happening. It's a pipe dream if you can hit that. So Sub-Zero has this amazing string that is a footsie string. Excuse me. It's a footsie string, much like Scorpion's 2-1 is. But unlike Scorpion, who can freely get a combo after hit confirming his 2-1, Sub-Zero has to spend meter to hit confirm. So that's a bar. Every time you do a combo, you're spending something. That's not a weakness that other characters have. And that's a problem for Sub-Zero because it limits what he can, you know, which cameos he can use. This is why I keep using Serena for Sub-Zero, because Sub-Zero really needs to be able to do that. He really needs to be able to throw out a cameo attack that lets him combo off of 2-1. As far as how I feel, because it's very clear that Sub-Zero is supposed to play in this neutral footsie range. That's why his ice clone is the way it is. That's why he has this move that doesn't go full screen, you know. That's why his slide has slow startup, relatively slow startup, because you're meant to catch people off guard right in this range here. So Sub-Zero's kind of meant to live in this area of the screen a little bit, at least for a little bit. But the problem is the string that's supposed to help lead the charge here, you got to spend meter to get a to get a combo from that. So here's what I suggest for Sub-Zero in terms of buffs. And NRS, I hope you are hearing me right now, because this is my favorite character, Sub-Zero. I love Sub-Zero. I will always play Sub-Zero. But he needs help. He still needs help because he's not cohesive and all he has is parlor tricks. And we need him to be as full and complete as someone like Katana and Scorpion is. So I need you to hear me. This ice ball is too slow. It is way too slow. His ice ball should have the exact same frame data as Tanya's fireball. Her regular fireball. Her regular fireball is approximately 28 frames of startup, if I'm going off of memory here. Sub-Zero's ice ball needs to be that fast too. 28 frames. This way, it's not so fast to where you can zone people with it, obviously. But it's fast enough to where people think twice about throwing things at you, because they know that you can do this and get them for a combo. Also, it would be fast enough for him to do that as a combo. He needs that. He needs that so bad, and I didn't realize how badly he needed it until he didn't have it. This needs to be a thing. This needs to be a thing. And for those risky people that like to play 50-50, sure, this can be a thing, and that can be a thing. So, obviously, to compensate, the ice ball should be -30 on block, because as it stands, I believe the move is like -11. Yeah, that's how you know I play this character so too much. I even know the frame data of a move I barely use. So this is -11. It should be way more than that. It should be -31 on block, to be honest. Like, that, a move like that should never be barely punishable. It should be death on block. Okay? But anyway, him having a faster ice ball not only helps him with combos and with trades, but it gives him a presence out here. It means that the opponent can't just be freely chucking projectiles at him. They have to be careful. The same way they have to be careful against Scorpion. You know what I'm saying? Also, let me see. Let me do the jumps. This, it would help him here. You see that? Because I'm very excited. Hold on. I'm very excited about the buff to his ice clone because of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's really good. But one of the problems that I've been having is you have to be ready to hit confirm into forward 1 after getting a stand 1 anti-air. So it's just much easier to do 2-1. But the problem is 2-1 doesn't convert into ice clone. Stand 2 doesn't convert into ice clone. But a faster ice ball might allow us to combo and freeze people for an anti-air. You see what I'm saying? Because with this right here, you have to be ready to hit somebody with that. So if you're just popping someone on reaction, it's very unlikely that you're gonna hit stand 1 and then connect with the forward 1 at the right height and at the right time to get this freeze. Not saying it's not possible, because it certainly is. But notice I'm in the practice room. I know he's gonna jump, and so I'm ready to kill him for jumping. But if I just connect with this in the neutral, the only thing I can really do on reaction is 2-1. You know what I'm saying? And so a better ice ball would help him in that situation. So he needs that buff bad. Absolutely. Now, so that's my suggestion for buff number 1. Buff this ice ball. Both versions need to be 28 frames. I don't even care if this one is a little bit faster than 28. It could be exactly the same speed for all I care. Because at this present moment, this move is useless. Yes, it trades with projectiles, but... or it doesn't trade with projectiles. It eats other projectiles, but it's so slow that people could shoot their projectile and then block the ice ball, which is bad. And we saw that in the combat cast for Chiquita. This move is too slow. So we need that fixed, please. The other thing we need fixed is this clone. Now, NRS, I understand. I understand the position that you're in. Because if you make that move too strong, people are going to complain and they're going to be upset that they can't do anything to fight Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero's hiding behind clone, throwing ice balls, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I really do. So, I want to give you two potential ways to buff this ice clone. One is a trap clone. The other is a defense clone. So the trap clone, if you're going to buff this clone to be a trap clone, my suggestion is turn regular clone duration into this. Let the regular clone be out for 140 frames, just like the EX clone is. That would be my suggestion. Let it be out. Keep the high recovery, keep the cooldown, but let it be out for a long time for regular clone. You see what I'm saying? And then for the EX clone, this one here, honestly, he doesn't really even need this move, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't even be mad if it was gone. If it was just removed from the game. I would be perfectly fine with it being gone, to be honest. But for EX clone, maybe it lasts a little bit longer than 140 frames, like maybe say 200 frames. But it's given some other property, like maybe it can take an extra hit of armor or something. You know what I'm saying? That way if someone tries to armor out, they get frozen. That's what I would do. That's the option for buffing the trap clone. This way Sub-Zero can really use it to keep people in the corner or keep people stuck behind it in a defensive manner. That would make Sub-Zero's play unique, and it would make him more akin to what he was in MK9 and what he has been in prior NRS games. Now, let's say you don't want that because you know how the backlash is going to be. Okay, here's the other option. The other option is we cut down that recovery. You keep the active time exactly the same. Let it be out for 70 frames. Let this be out for 140 frames. We don't change anything about the active frames. But the recovery, instead of being at 43, it gets slashed to 23. So we have a clone where Sub-Zero recovers faster so he can do more. And the cooldown is trimmed down just a little bit. Because I think the cooldown is probably like 3 seconds or something like that. I'm not sure. And so if we remove about a second from that cooldown, that'd be the other way to buff the clone. But it's entirely too risky for Sub-Zero to throw this clone out. And it's a shame that he only has one safe way to use this clone. And that's after this string right here. That is the only safe way that Sub-Zero has to put this clone out on screen. In previous games, he had strings like this that he could do in a combo, like he did in MK9. So he had strings like this in MK9. My bad, you didn't even see that. He had a string like this in MK9. Notice 222 knocks down, sets up a safe clone. You see? And then he had a string like that forward 1-2 in MKX that allowed for a safe clone. You see? Forward 1-2, clone. You see? So back to MK1, Sub-Zero has a perfect string that could serve that role, and that's 1-2-2. This string would be perfect in the role of MK9's 2-2-2 or MKX's forward 1-2. But the problem is the third hit of this string is way too slow. It comes out in 21 frames. It's so slow you can't even use it in juggles. You see that? We can't even use it in juggles. Let me see if I can use it. Yeah. Even after a double back 2, it can't even hit. And so NRS Sub-Zero needs this string to be gapless, which means taking this third hit, that overhead chop, and, you know, speeding it up to be however many frames it needs to be, probably 15 frames. And if that means that we have to lose the overhead part of it, that's fine by me. I don't care much about that. But Sub-Zero needs to be able to use this in strings. Use this in combos, I mean. And honestly, if the hit advantage were increased to, say, 38 or 48, like Scorpion's 3-4 is, I would be very, very happy. It would help Sub-Zero out a lot, because he could do this and put out a clone safely, just like he was able to do in the previous games. You know what I mean? Besides, this string, there's a gap everywhere in the string. There's a gap between 1 and 2. There's a gap between the 2 and the 3. Well, the 2 and the second 2, I should say. There's gaps everywhere. This string is not so powerful to where it has to be full of gaps. And honestly, neither is this one. The second hit of this string is way too slow. Way too slow. It's a great string, don't get me wrong, but for people to armor through this I think it's too much. It's entirely too much. So those need to be, this string needs to be gapless, and this entire string needs to be gapless. If NRS can do these things for Sub-Zero, he will be a fully independent character like Scorpion. He will be a much improved character who will be able to work with a variety of cameos across the cast. Because now he'll be able to do this and not have to rely on cameos to get his combos going. You know what I'm saying? He can be like Scorpion. He can be a character where he's dangerous everywhere on the screen. Because if you decide you're going to try something, Ice Ball will get you and let you combo. If he gets a stray hit confirmed, it's Ice Ball time. You know what I'm saying? And if you have people that want to use 50-50s, you know, they can do it, but they can't hit confirm it, and if they're wrong, they die. You know what I'm saying? And even if you didn't want him to combo from his 50-50 into Ice Ball, I'm still fine with that. Because you shouldn't be relying on this 50-50 business for offense anyway. It should be occasional. You know? But if Sub-Zero's buffed in those ways, or gets these core issues fixed, he'll be a much better character overall. He would get the Scorpion treatment, which is exactly what this video is advocating for. Alright? But with that being said, I want to thank you for watching this video. NRS, I hope you're listening. And for those of you that are watching, Get this to NRS. If you love Sub-Zero and want him to be buffed, spread this message to them, please. All right? But with that being said, I'll catch y'all later. Thank y'all. One.